Hello everybody. I've nearly used up all of the pots that I was given for Christmas. I have this one left, and it's a nice fairly shallow pot, and I had an idea that I'd like to do kind of a landscape with it, and I was looking around and I have this rather nice little cherry that I have grown from a cutting. Bring it in a bit closer, hopefully you can see it's just coming into bloom. It's very delicate pink, almost white flowers, and I'm thinking I could position that quite nicely in the pot, like so. And I have a couple of nice rocks that I think would work together thusly. And so that is what I'm going to do. Now, it's not a good time of year to be pruning cherries, so I'm not going to do anything to the top of this tree. Obviously I'm going to need to get it out of this pot, and because it's one of those pots with a bit of a belly, it can sometimes be difficult to get out of the pot without damaging the roots too much, but I need to get rid of some of these weeds and things anyway, so I'll do what I can to get it out without damaging it too much, and then it can go straight into the new pot. And then, as I say, it's not a good time to be doing any top pruning because of there's a disease for stone fruits like cherries can get called silver leaf if you prune them at this time of year. But anyway, let's get this out of the pot and see how we go. So in the potting tray contain all the mess, all that weed out. Let's see if we can tease this tree out of the pot. It's not going to come easily, but I think if I get my root hook in at the side here, I can start to rake out some of these roots. Get the root hook underneath. I'm hoping I can persuade it to come out with minimal damage to the root. There we go. That's got it. Okay. It has got some quite long roots, but I'm going to avoid cutting those. Let's get rid of this moss. Actually, it's got a reasonable looking nibari underneath all that green stuff, which is nice. And because the pot wasn't that deep, I think it'll go into this new shallow pot quite nicely. There we have it. A bit more weed there. Let's just rake out a bit more at the top where all that moss root is. Get rid of that. Loosen the bottom. Bring it back into the pot sometime, and that's all I need to do with that. So move that to one side. And bring in the other pot. Okay, I realised when I was pulling the tree out of the pot, I actually had the back to the camera rather than the front. This is the front, but it's going to fit very nicely in this tray. Just to give you an idea of the scale of the tree and the pot, let's bring in this can, sit it next to it. Just a normal drinks can. You can see that the tree is not very big. It's, as I say, grown from a cutting from a Japanese flowering cherry, of which I no longer have the label and don't know what the tree is called. I do know it's a very pretty, very delicate blossom on it, and I think it's going to look rather nice with the rocks. I've given some good contrast. So let's pull the tree out and get some soil in the bottom of this. pot. have the drainage screens in place already, as you'd expect. Nice little layer on the bottom. I want a layer under the rocks as well, although they'll be mostly buried. But I want the tree to be able to run its roots the entire length of the pot. So, bring it in. That brings the tree up slightly proud of the rim of the pot, which is nice. And I'll just stretch out some of these roots so that they're, as I said, coming out, filling out the whole pot rather than staying round and round. But I'm not going to prune them. Put my arm in the way. There. That's good. I'm happy with that. Spread out quite nicely. Okay, so now I'm going to place the rocks, and I've had a fiddle with how I like the rocks before I even started doing anything with this video, before I even got the camera out, in fact. And I'm liking this face. I'm going to rest the rock straight onto these roots. It won't hurt them, they will just sit under there. And now I will put a little bit of layer over the top. Just a little layer over the top, just to protect a little bit of a buffer. But I don't want to bury the rocks too exposed, otherwise they'll be falling over. So this is the base I like of this particular rock, and then I have this face with all its irregularities that I'm going to fix into the back of the pot. Just there, bring this one a little further forward, I think. This one a little more to this side. Placement isn't crucial in terms of the tree's health, but obviously it has to look good to the eye. Most importantly to my eye, because I'm going to look at it on the bench every time I water it. But obviously I hope you guys like it too. The tree, I'm quite happy with the positioning, and looking good, I think. So now it's just a question of backfilling in between the rocks. They need to be held firm so that they don't fall over. Once the tree roots begin to knit this soil together, they will hold the rocks quite firmly. Not much to be done in terms of teasing it in around the roots, because roots haven't been pulled apart too much. Okay, bit of a gardener's tap. This rock I think needs to that's better. It's not much of a difference, but even a millimetre one way or another can change a composition. So if you've got a small tree, this is something you could try if you find a few rocks. I pick these up in the fields around Walking Cooper, and you're not supposed to take rocks from certain places like beaches and things, but I don't think the farmer, I've never heard of a farmer complain that their fields are too stony. Quite the opposite. So let's give it a bit of a 360 degrees. The tree is a little bit small in relation to the rocks, but obviously it's going to grow and fill out into kind of this plane. I don't imagine it ever being a large bonsai, but yeah, just go around again. I think the delicate flowers will contrast very nicely against the against the harsh rocks. Okay, so I'm going to move it off the turntable so we give it a drink. Okay, so give it a good drink. This will help the substrate to settle in around those rocks and around those roots. And that's better. I have just realised, and I haven't done, is put in any slow release fertiliser, so I'm just going to scrape away some of the top layer in a couple of places and put some in. I wish I'd sort of realised that before I watered it, but never mind. Not too much in any one area. I'll just scrape a bit away, put in a few bits. You can do this with trees that you haven't repotted. Put some in between those rocks, that'll wash down and encourage the roots to grow out into the area in and around those rocks. A little bit at the back, just a little bit more. And there you go. Okay, so thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a departure. I don't often do landscapes, but I just fancy doing this one. Thank you all for watching. Please, please, please take care of yourselves.